Welcome back to part 6 of our Kajabi course Kickstarter. Now, if you've been just jumping in now, you have missed a whole lot of little tutorials on draft products, waitlist pages, setting up quizzes, and in the last part of the training, we looked at dripping content. Now, dripping the content means you are going to release it on a schedule, whereas locking the content means that you are going to let students move on to the next module based on an action that they have taken. And there's a couple of little interesting ways that you can be using locking inside of your programs. So let's go have a look.
All right, so we're on to the second part of dripping and locking. What we're going to talk about is locking your course content now. Now, the first time when you might decide that you would like to lock your course content is if you want students to be going through your course in order, not jumping ahead, making sure that they actually complete each module before they move on. So in that instance, your first module is most likely going to be published. And then rather than having your content drip or release on a schedule, you would say, let's lock module 2 by the final lesson in module 1. Okay, and let's lock module 3 by the final lesson in module 2. And let's lock module 4 by the final module lesson in module 3. Now, module 3 actually had 2 lessons, that one and that one. So I would say it's this one. And let's lock module 5 by the final lesson inside of module 4. Okay, this one. Right, so this way, I mean, people could work through it all in one day if they wanted to, but they need to go in order and they need to make sure they're actually completing each lesson inside of those modules. So that's one instance where you might want to use locking. Now, the other instance where you might want to use locking is actually using it as an incentive for some kind of bonus that you're going to deliver to students at the end of the course if they send in their feedback. So perhaps, all of this content is published. Okay, they work through the course content at their leisure and right through to module 5. And then you add into module 5 a little quiz, not a graded quiz. It's not, marking their capability. It's just asking them for feedback on the course, okay, or a testimonial. And you would, change it from multiple choice to short answer. And it wouldn't be graded. And you would say, please, please take a minute to let us know, your thoughts on the course. So you could have a bunch of questions in here. I mean, you could ask people, you could set multiple choice and you could have, from 1 to 5, how would you rate this course? And with your multiple choice answers, you'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for people to choose from. You could use the checkbox. You could put all sorts of questions into a quiz to collect feedback from your students at the end of the course. And save it. Okay, so it's not going to be a graded quiz. Over here in settings, I'm just going to call it course feedback. Oops. Feedback. Okay. And there's no passing grade. Let's switch that off. And you probably, up to you whether or not you send their feedback to them, but definitely I'm guessing you would like the feedback sent to you. So you would check that box and you would put your email address in there like this. And you could add a little automation that goes out to them. Perhaps they get like a badge or something on completing this feedback assessment. So have some fun with that and save. And don't forget to publish. Okay, so then you can come back into your course outline over here. Okay, so we've now got this little course feedback quiz, and you can then go and create yourself a new module right at the end, which is called bonus resource. And unlock this. XYZ gift with your course feedback. create. Okay, so we've got a module. We would put a lesson into it that contains the thank you gift that you've got for them. Publish that, okay, and you would put into this lesson post whatever the gift is and how people redeem it. And then this bonus resource module is the one that you would lock. And you would say lock this lesson, lock this module by the course feedback post, just there. And lock. Okay, so now, and they don't have to pass or fail the quiz, okay, because it's not graded, but they will need to submit it, complete the quiz before they can unlock that extra module that we've just added at the end there for their bonus resource. So it's a really good way, useful way to incentivize students to take some time to send you their feedback and a testimonial at the end of the course, okay? If you sort of drop a little, what I like to call a carrot into a final bonus resource module for them and just let them know that they can unlock it with that feedback.
So that's a couple of little scenarios on where you could use locking inside of your program. Now, hopefully you liked that suggestion on how you might use locking to incentivize student feedback when students get to the end of your course. Now, the other thing that might happen at the end of the course or at some point during the course is you might like to give them a certificate. And we are going to jump into automated certificates next.